What is going on, people of YouTube? My name's Kurtyoy. Welcome back to a brand new video of the review, where I look at the last week's games and top point scorers and see if they're worth bringing in or not. And I've got a video coming this weekend, hopefully, fingers crossed it's got coming this weekend. It should have come last weekend, but didn't get around to it. Explaining the situation. I've been a bit vague again. Not much content compared to what I promised, and all those sort of things will be explained on Saturday/Sunday or the weekend. Hopefully Saturday, when this video or the update video will hopefully come out, explaining things for you guys. So it sort of hopefully clears the air as to where I've been. But without further ado, I've got to stop waffling. I'll leave most of the content for that video and kick off, as always, with the goalkeepers. And the 4 goalkeepers we have for you: a surprise top scoring goalkeeper this week, Fabianski on 11. We've also got Cech on 10. We've got De Gea and Forster also on 9. Starting off with Fabianski, it's a big surprise because we did not see a 0-0 coming. At Wembley for Spurs' home game against Swansea. I could potentially see a few saves. Fabianski is really good on the save points. He can really save a decent amount of shots during the season. Showed that in that game. Grabbed a good amount of save points, 3 bonus points, as well as a clean sheet and playing 90 minutes as well. Got himself 11 points. Any owners will be happy. That's Swansea's 3rd away consecutive clean sheet. They have not played an away game this season in a league without they've not played one without conceding. With conceding, they basically haven't conceded a goal in all 3 of their away games. They have conceded in every home game though, so Swansea are a weird team. Fabianski did well. Pechek's another one that came out of the blue, and another away team not expecting to get a clean sheet, but at the end of the day both teams cancelled out each other. And it's one thing that we've learned from Arsenal, is that if you stick them up against a team that are playing 2 centre midfielders, Ramsey and Xhaka can do okay. But put them against more than 2 centre midfielders, like Chelsea's Kante Matic and Kante Fabregas did last season, also this season Kante Fabregas can do, is hone in against those 3 players and make it a little bit harder for them. I don't think they'll play too well against the 3 midfield. So 2 in centre midfield, Arsenal are good. 3, I'd be worrying. But Cech got 10 points. Good to see him back in the top scorers. De Gea got 9, another clean sheet for Manchester United, another 4-0. Albeit another one where you think, if it weren't for that last 10 minutes, would there have been a 4-0? And I'd be interested to see how many goals in the last 15-10 minutes Man United have got this season, because I'm pretty sure it'll be close to half of their goals, and I generally mean that. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And also Fraser Forster for Southampton. Southampton picked up a clean sheet, surprisingly, against Crystal Palace, the team without a goal. I think we could see that one coming. On to the defenders, and we have 6 defenders as always. Valencia had 15, Otamendi grabbed 12, Wall grabbed 10, and 3 players on 9 points. Were Monreal, Reed, and Cresswell. Valencia on 15 points. Really put my £10 or 25 to £100 challenge in the dirt. Because I expected Man United to be knocking at the door, not really getting much, a few long shots, a few corners. No, he scored a banger from the first few minutes, and it meant that they didn't need to chase the game much. So corners were 5, I think, at the end of the game. But at the end of the day, good performance. Will he score every game? No, he might get assists, he might get goals, who knows. But to me, there are cheaper options, i.e. Phil Jones. For the moment, he's still playing, so I'd probably put money on him. Another one to get a good points total from a big Manchester club is Otamendi on 12. Personally, although he is cheap at 5.6, if you've got the money, I'd say spend it on Walker. Also got 10 points because he'll be bombing down the wings. If he doesn't get clean sheets, you can expect him to get attacking returns too, which is the wonderful thing about him. Monreal grabbed 9 points, something that's really interesting. A £5.4 million centre-back for Arsenal. As well as Mustafi, I believe, is also on 5.4. Interesting, because if Arsenal actually kick their arse into gear and think the next 5 games are looking really good, maybe it's a chance for us to capitalise on that. Who knows? It could be a good time to get Arsenal defender in, and Monreal could be that person. And then Reed and Crespo, well, 0-0 against West Brom. Are we going to read into that too much? No, we aren't. So those two, yes, they got good points totals. I'll say for the extra 0.1 million, it's worth getting Crespo over Reed, just for the fact of his attacking returns and potential as a fullback could be a lot better than Reed this season. But overall, there are some good choices in there. Valencia could be one. I'd say Walker, choose Walker over him. Monreal could be another one, and quite cheap as well, considering. And you also got Crespo there, a differential option if you fancy it. Moving on to midfielders, we've got some really close scores. We had 6 players with just 1 point difference. On 11 points, David Silva, Richie and Stephen Davis. And on 10 points, we had Sermon, Arfield and Salah. Starting off with David Silva, really looking good this season. David Silva playing in a weird sort of Pep Guardiola midfield, but it's working for him. He's getting attacking returns, and he's £8.3 million now. Start of the season, I believe, 8 million or 8.5. I'm assuming it's one of the two. I can't really tell which one it is. But if he's got up at 0.3, he'll go up a lot more. He wasn't owned too much. And realistically, you've got to look at it and think, if they carry on playing the way they are, you're looking at 6-0, 5-0, 4-0. It can't be ignored. David Silva could be a good option. Another one there though is Richie, who managed to pick up a decent points total in their 2-1 win against Stoke. Puts them into 4th now, Newcastle. Crisis? What crisis? But yeah, Richie is another good option, another cheap option. Even cheaper than that is Stephen Davis. An interesting one. My brother had him in his team this week. I'm not quite sure why. I think he stuck him in there from the get-go. Paid off this week. Had a good points total, but realistically, it was a rebound. It was a 1 goal against a Crystal Palace side that have conceded every game but have not scored in every game. Haven't scored in any game. So realistically, he was always going to get at least 3 points if he played 60 minutes or above. Managed to bring himself up a goal. Of course, that meant a lot of bonus points. So alas, we are left with Davis on 11. Would I bring him in? Probably not. But who knows, he could be playing attacking returns more often if he carries on his attacking role. On the 10 points, we've got Sermon. Would I bring him in? Probably not, because I don't trust him, although he was good. To be fair, you got Arfield on 10. Would I bring him in? Again, no, because I just generally don't think you can trust him. And then you got Salah, £9.2 million. Would I bring him in? You're looking at it, to be honest, Salah is looking good. Mane suspended for a straight red. Could be in there for the next few games, with Mane focusing on the Cups, maybe. And also the European competitions. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see that. But Salah, I think, could be a good choice. Richie as well, good choice. David Silva, a really good choice. And lastly, move on to the attack, is where we have Aguero on 20 points, Lukaku on 12, we've got Depoitier and Vardy on 9, and Jermaine Defoe, hallelujah, praise the Lord, finally on 7, starting off with Sergio Aguero banging 20 points. Is not easy, unless you're Sergio Aguero, which is basically all in a day's work. Personally, I feel like Man City coverage, I don't see many teams as a must. Man City is. If you can't afford Aguero, Jesus isn't a bad second option. But if you can afford Aguero and Jesus, you decide who to get. At the moment, Aguero. Aguero is in fine form, and the best thing is that they're not fighting for goals. You're not seeing them snatching at chances to try and get in front of the other one. They're passing it to each other. The teamwork is there, which means even if they're through on goal and the other one's there, you know for a fact they're not going to try and score it to try and outdo the other one. Passing it to get the assist. Simple. And unlike Cavani and Neymar. We've also got Lukaku in there. 0.1 more expensive. I've already transferred him out. He's still owned by over 55% of people. Realistically, I needed a better balance to my team. I've got that. I'm not going to be transferring him in. Same with Aguero, really. But I've also got City coverage elsewhere, so that is also quite nice. Depoitier is another one, 5.2. I don't fancy him because you don't know if he's going to play or if Mooney's going to play. But he did score a goal, so could be in there for next game if you're going to take a risk. But Huddersfield's fixtures do start getting a lot tougher from here on in. You also got Vardy. His pace can break any team down, and also he's on a few set pieces. So for me, Vardy could be a nice one to bring in. 8.5 million, a bit of a differential if you don't want that Firmino player around the same price. And also lastly, we've got Jermaine Defoe, finally scored a goal, swivel, turn and bang. Jermaine Defoe's been doing it for 10-15 years, and he'll probably doing it for another 10-15 years, albeit maybe not at the Premier League level by the time he's pretty much 50, but banging in the goals. or one of them this season. But all jokes aside, he should start getting them in more comfortably now. Bournemouth finally ever wins their name, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes. 7.8 million could be good, but I'll sort of feel it out for now, see how he does in the coming games, then make a decision. And that happens to be that for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Would you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know, what do you think about the players that did well in the last game week? Who are you transferring in apart from Aguero? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. Would you like, comment, subscribe, and peace.